Well, hey there, y'all. Back with another knife review. And this time I am going to be reviewing the Case Sod Buster. Actually, the Case Sod Buster Jr. This knife was typically a farmer's knife, although the roots of it go way back, I think all the way to the clasp knife that the Romans used. Real simple knife, although I don't think they had, back springs and stuff. And there's another knife that looks a lot like this. It's a French knife called a Lagoule, or forgive me if you're French and I just totally chopped up your language. I apologize for that. But anyway, back to the Case Sod Buster Jr. This knife, there's not a lot to it. I can go ahead and give you a little tour around the knife. It is a simple knife, and that's what makes it a beautiful knife, in my opinion. Here, let me open it up for you. It's got to do it off camera for room-wise. I'll try to catch that snap. There you go. Get that snap in the camera there. And that's based on that back spring. It's got a really, not a super strong back spring, but strong enough to make it a little difficult to open the knife, which is what you want, because that means that knife's not going to close on you when you're using it. And it also, to catch it on camera here, it also, get a little snap. That's a snap coming closed. It'll also make sure that knife has no way of opening in your pocket, not something you have to worry about. Let me open up the blade here again and show you. The knife does have a little engraving on it there, and you'll see a kind of a farm scene, surprise, surprise. It's got a little plow, and it says Sod Buster and stainless. This knife is made out of Case Knives' proprietary stainless steel. They call it surgical steel or true sharp steel, something like that. And it's a really good steel. It's not a super steel. It's not made out of, powdered virgin hair or whatever. It's just a good quality steel that is heat treated well. Some people think it's 420 HC. Some people think, I don't know, they won't say, but the majority of Case knives are now made in stainless steel. They used to do this formulation called CV, or chrome vanadium, and the old timers would say that's the best steel, hands down. You can't get a better steel than that chrome vanadium steel. But there is a guy here on YouTube, I think they're called Cedric and Ada or something like that. And anyway, what this guy did was he did a test between Case Knives stainless steel and their chrome vanadium high carbon steel. And he sharpened them up to the exact same angle. He he got some rope, and he did the exact number of cuts with the exact same knife, with different steels, and he found that they performed identical. There was really no discernible difference whatsoever in how fast the knife dulled, how fast it sharpened, any of that stuff. So it did dispel a lot of myths as far as what the steel does. I was one of those guys. If it wasn't a carbon steel, I didn't want it. But the downside of that, or the good side, depending on who you are, is that that carbon steel takes on a patina, and the steel will darken, or it'll actually rust. And you really gotta, it's not a big deal, but you do gotta maintain it, keep some oil on it, wipe it off after you use it, stuff like that. Clean it when you get home. And the stainless steel, while you should take care of it, it is a lot more resistant to rust and things of that nature. However, stainless is, it stains less. That's a good name. It's not stain free, it's stainless. You still have to take care of it, but believe it or not, stainless steel will rust, especially a high quality stainless steel. What I mean by that is it's not just stainless. It has some carbon in it too, so that you can get that really nice edge, and that's how they make their stainless now. The knife, the handles or scales as they call them, are made out of this polymer or some type of high-tech plastic. And it is better than regular plastic because it is really resistant to scratches. It's resistant to chemicals. I spilled gas all over this knife and rinsed it off with some water and soap, and nothing happened. I dropped it a few times. There's no real scratches on it. It's held up good. You can see that the pins hold the knife together. They really do a good job of keeping it flush with the handles. You can see there's no gaps. The fit and finish of this knife is really, let me get you the back side here. The fit and finish is really good. The centering's pretty good. It's not like absolutely perfect, but so what, you know. The cool thing about these knives also is you get a really nice big pivot. You can see there, and it's a good strong knife. Try to get her open for you here again. There's really not a lot of blade play or no blade play in this one. You know, the knife, it doesn't move up and down, side to side, nothing. Locks up like a bank vault. And another cool thing about this knife is it set me back about 25 bucks, maybe 27, I can't remember. I got it at Lowe's of all places, and it came in like a blister pack, and they got them at Home Depot too. And for a while there, I was buying these Rough Rider Chinese-made slip joints that are actually pretty good knives. You know, they're pretty well made, you know, but they are Chinese-made, and I do want to still have that mindset. I'd like to stick to buying American when you can. And I bought this knife to be kind of a beater knife and a user knife. But the thing is, when you get a good knife, even if it's inexpensive, and you start using it and like it, you start appreciating it and you start taking care of it. And where it was a beater, you'll still use the knife. It's more of a user, but you won't abuse it. You start, for lack of a better term, developing an affection for it. So even though it's not super expensive, you start to really appreciate it. And that's the way I feel about this knife. I got it, I started using it, and I really, really just started appreciating the absolute American-made quality you get for not that much money. Like I said, it's a pretty simple knife. There are absolutely no frills. If you're a minimalist type of person, well, this is your knife. Because it is, to me, minimalism personified. It's got everything you need and nothing you don't. Just a good, straightforward knife. It disappears in your pocket. I have medium-sized hands. You can see how it kind of fits in my hand there. And it goes in the pocket, and it just disappears. Unless you're one of them guys that wear skinny jeans, then you might notice it. But if you wear skinny jeans, you're probably not carrying a pocket knife anyway. So that's another story altogether. But anyway, this has been my review of the Case Sod Buster Jr. And I would highly recommend that you go pick yourself up one. Whether you have a million knives or just one knife, or you're looking for, one knife to do it all, I think this thing will do it. Do it for not that much money. It's got a lifetime warranty. Case, and I have tested that warranty. Case does stand behind their products. But you are more than likely not going to need it because, like I said, this is a very well-built knife. And it's very simple. There's really nothing to go wrong. You throw it in your pocket and it'll be there when you need it. I've said this in other videos before. The only thing is, rather than sharpen the blazes out of your knife, after you use your knife, if you maintain it, and by maintain it, I mean you strop it. You run it across a piece of old leather or your belt or your jeans or even a piece of cardboard, and you maintain the edge that way. You won't have to sharpen as much, and you'll prolong the life of your knife. And this knife easily could last you a lifetime without any problems whatsoever. Anyway, that's my review of the Case Sod Buster Jr. I hope you like it. If you got any questions, you can ask them down there below. I don't know what I can tell you. It's a pretty simple knife. And we'll catch y'all down the road.